Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, and anime fans and live action adaptation fans everywhere. Obviously, we are all very well of, unless you've been living under a rock, that Netflix had an absolutely outstanding success with their One Piece live action adaptation of course, the exact same manga and anime of the same name. Now, this is one of them situations where this is a show that was absolutely done right. It got a lot of critical acclaim. Basically, fans and critics alike were extremely happy, which is normally one thing you know that's a generally good sign for a show out there. And if the fans are happy, it's something I'll watch. If the critics hate it, it's something I'll watch. If the fans and the critics hate it, well, then that's something we probably won't watch. But when the fans and the critics love it, well, that's always a good sign. And this show was an absolute huge success for Netflix. It was one of their biggest premieres ever, if not their biggest one, and it absolutely smashed records left and right and was seen by hundreds of millions of people globally, and it was a beautiful thing. This was a show that absolutely adapted as a guy that has now gone back and watched a bunch of the anime, as myself, I think I'm at like episode 800 or something like that, which I know isn't even a drop in the bucket. I get it. All of you guys that have finished it, okay, don't come at me in the go ahead and come at me in the comments. Go ahead. Just call me a tourist. I don't care, whatever. I loved the show. I enjoyed it. I love the anime. I've been having a really great time getting through all of it right now as well. And this is something I'm very excited about because now we have official updates. As of the second season, we got some teasers, of course, from Oda and what the second season would entail and some of those kind of things with Oda talking about, oh, it looks like the pirate crew, the guys, might end up being in the need for a doctor. So I think we all know exactly who we're going to end up getting in the second season when it's going to be the next addition to the crew. And it's something that I am very, very excited for. So, because Choppa is absolutely awesome. So we've got this article over here from Screen Rant with some updates as to when the show is going to start recording again before they start doing all of that kind of stuff and all of the filming starts to go on, and as well potentially a little bit of an idea of when the release date might actually be given as well. So we're going to check out this article from Screen Rant and give you all the lovely updates we have on the very, very exciting news about One Piece, the second season. Before we do, if you haven't already, smash that like button, leave a comment down below, follow if you have not already, and of course subscribe depending on the platform you are on. One Piece Season 2 gets major filming update. Netflix is preparing to return to the Grand Line. As One Piece Season 2 update reveals when filming will take place alongside a release window. A new One Piece Season 2 update reveals when filming will take place to prepare for its return to the Grand Line. Starring Ineka Godi, Emily Rudd, Makina, Jacob Gibson, and Taz Skylar, the Netflix fantasy series brought Ikio Oda's manga into life, uniting the Straw Hat Pirates on a voyage to discover a legendary treasure. Upon release, One Piece was heralded by viewers and critics as a successful translation of the best anime and manga into an all-new medium. Absolutely, hands down, I don't think anything we can look at in history even comes close to comparing how well of an adaptation that they did. They got it right. They learned from their mistakes with Cowboy Bebop, and they did a good job. So shout out to them from learning their mistakes and being grown up enough to do that and not just fan blame like so many others out there do. Despite less than a year since Season 1 aired, Netflix is already gearing up to bring Luffy's Godoy next adventures on the screen. According to What's on Netflix, One Piece Season 2 will reportedly film for 7 months from June 2024 to January 2025. That is a long time. I mean, that's longer than a lot of full-blown movie productions. Now, given obviously 7 months, you've got, an hour per episode? So you got, I guess that probably gives us an idea. Probably going to end up being, 7 episodes, maybe? Maybe longer than that. Maybe hopefully we'll get another full 10-episode kind of situation here. But yeah, 7 episodes, 7 months, 1 episode a month. I don't know. We'll see what happens when that comes through. But hey, 7 months, good time. Season 1 co-showrunner Matt Oyes will be joined by a newcomer, Joe Trazick, who will take up duties as former co-showrunner Stephen Medea is set to act as an executive producer. All right, so we're getting a new little blood in there too as well. Hopefully they don't mess with anything. So where will the One Piece Season 2 take the Straw Hats? With Netflix aiming to have filming wrapped up by early 2025, it is clear that the streamers sees value in adapting the series as soon as possible. Yes, clearly, and obviously it was such a huge success for them, and it was a huge success for One Piece. A lot of the manga sales went up for One Piece. The anime watch hours went up for the actual anime as well. I mean, this was a huge success and introduced a whole new audience to something they might not have ever been interested in or even thought about taking up. And that, at the end of the day, boys and girls, is what a truly good adaptation of any source material should do. It should properly represent the source material, represent it in spirit, represent it in lore and in accuracy as best as you possibly can, and make you want to go back and experience the original. If they do a good job, that's what they should do. Clearly, everything we've gotten over the last few years has not done that outside of One Piece and a few others. While Season 2 has yet to film, One Piece Season 1 ending has already provided several hints about the next chapter of the Straw Hats. While Logtown arc was not present in Season 1, the season finale did set up the events of the storyline through the alliance of Buggy and Alvida. and from the tease of Smoker of the Marines leaning off of Luffy's bounty, which was a great into the end. I love Smoker's character. I hope his little sidekick chick shows up. She's great too. Absolutely love that. As such, season 2 may open with Logtown before heading off to new lands, which makes sense, right? We've gotten that arc. We've got that the majority of that first arc out of the way. Logtown is the next logical place to go. So, and obviously the Logtown situation is where we pick up Choppa as well, and they get their doctor and everything else, so it all makes sense. So One Piece will move on to the events of the Arabasta saga. While the group is destined to reach the country, teased by Gibson and Owens on April Fool's Day, may have revealed that the pirates may face several stops before reaching their destination, with a crude drawing hinting at a Little Garden storyline being adapted. Which Little Garden, if you didn't know, Little Garden is literally a filler episode, but it's one of the most revered and loved filler episodes of the entire community, of the entire fan base, of the entire fellowship of One Piece out there, and that is something that I think will be a really fun episode if they do end up doing that. But also at the exact same time, it is filler, so whether or not they're going to put that in there, I don't know, but it will be absolutely hilarious to see how they adapt that on the live action on the big screen, because if you've seen that episode, trust me, it's a riot, it's wild, and it'll be really curious to see how they adapt that to a live action. As such, audiences may anticipate that Season 2 will not shy away from any details and bring up as much of the manga to the screen as possible. With One Piece in Season 1 surprising audiences with its faithfulness, the series has become an unexpected hit for Netflix. Season 2 is already close to filming despite the massive undertaking bringing the series from page to screen. With Netflix aiming to have filming wrapped up by early 2025, it's clear that the streamer sees value in adapting the series as soon as possible, which is obvious. And why shouldn't they, right? This show has been an absolute huge success. Here's my favorite character right here, especially this season. And then once I got into the anime, yeah, I just love him more. Love the Pirate Lords. But yes, Mihawk is Mihawk is absolutely one of my favorites. Yeah, I love her actress. And one of my favorite speculations is how are they going to handle Nami's glow up in the later seasons? And that'll be good because this is a gorgeous girl. This would be a very gorgeous girl, but it's Hollywood, boys and girls. They've got all kinds of tricks to do stuff like that if they bother doing it. If not, trust me, we've seen all of her outfits have been so far directly from the manga as is. I can only imagine that's going to be the same going forward. So, yeah. Girl, can't wait to see you in that bikini. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, I love it. It's been great. I'm excited to see the fact that we've got more stuff coming from them very soon, that Netflix is not waiting around for like a couple of years to start this up again. It's obviously been a huge enough success that they're like, we need to strike while the iron's hot. Let's get on this. Let's get it done. Let's move on. Let's keep getting so, because they have a lot of stuff to get through. And also, they have another anime that is specifically going to be adapted strictly for Netflix itself. It is another one-to-one recreation of One Piece, except the idea is to cut out a lot of the filler. Oda wants to make a more straightforward story and not have to have all of the filler in there that's been in for the One Piece series for a long time. So it'll be very curious to see what that comes from. That's all we know about that series so far. But the good news is that One Piece Season 2 is officially have a scheduled filming date, and it is coming very, very soon, boys and girls, which means that we not that long before we have to wait for Season 2. And I, for one, cannot wait.